So the first precaution is dealing with seizures. So if they have a seizure but they are medicated and it's not controlled by movement, you could go ahead and go back and forth when you're away. And then it becomes a contraindication if it is controlled by movement. So then you would not want to use the swing. So the swing that I'm going to introduce to you next is the moon swing. So youngest that they could use it is 3 years old. As long as they have postural stability and trunk support, they can use it. So these skills work on vestibular input, tactile input, and also proprioceptive if you use a crash pad, which I'll show you in a little bit. This swing is also really unique because it has 3 points of contact for extra stability. And then some games that you could do with your kiddo is like I Spy games. So while they're swinging, they could point out different objects, also looking at the visual motor component of it. And I'll go ahead and show you. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and show you the moon swing. So before we do anything, before we set up, we have to make sure the adjuster is at eye level, so it's easy for you to put on the swing. Next, you can go ahead and take the moon swing. Make sure the carabiner is pointed upwards just so you can attach it, like so. And then you kind of want to see the height from the floor, so it is a little low, so I'm just gonna pull it upward just so that it's kind of at like my shin length. And then what you're gonna have your kiddo do, you could go ahead and take the swing back, make sure they have a wide base of support, and then you could go ahead and have them tuck like so, and then you could go ahead and have them cross their legs like this, and then you could instruct them to kind of hold it to their body, also holding it more up and choking up on the swing just so that they have better support. And then you could go ahead and swing with them. And then you could go ahead and have them stop by just having their feet placed on the ground like that. And then you could also help them by providing them an exit strategy, so saying a safe word, so that you know that it's time to stop. So the next swing I'm going to show you is called the frog sling swing. So this is for older kiddos about 4 to 5 years old. They just need to have postural stability and trunk support to operate this. This works on proprioception when jumping, and then also vestibular input as they're moving. This is really cool because it allows for jumping safely, bouncing, and swinging in different directions. Some games that you can play with your kiddo, you could have like a beanbag holding it so that they could jump up to reach for it, and you could tailor it to different occupations that they might like basketball or something like that. And then I'll show you next how to put it on. So this is how you're gonna set up the frog sling swing. You wanna have the adjuster at eye level just so it's easy for you to set it up. You might have to adjust it more up once you figure out like the kiddo's weight. If they're dragging too low, you could always adjust it. So first off, you're gonna find the carabiner, as so, and then make sure that it's pointed upwards. Go ahead and attach it in this hole right here. And then see, I see that's pretty low and it's gonna be a little difficult for my kiddo to get up on it. So you could go ahead and adjust it as so that they're able to bounce. And then once you're here, you could go ahead and have them sit down. I'm a little too tall for this, but just pretend. You could go ahead and have them hold at the ropes right here and then go ahead and have them jump. And then once they're done, you could do the same strategy and have an exit strategy while they say a safe word. And then also just look for signs of like dizziness, make sure that they're feeling okay while they're using this. And that's how you use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the Pro and Scooter board. These are for kiddos that are 3 years old and up. This is really good for tactile input, some proprioceptive input, and then you're also working on those fundamental skills that they learn as a baby, which is like tummy time, prone extension, so really focusing on that core stability and also extension. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how to use it. So what you're supposed to do, we'll always have the wheels facing this way, just because kiddos might feel impulsive and want to just ride it, so we're trying to make sure that they're safe when using it. So go ahead and flip it over as so, and then you could go ahead and have them put it like where their knees are, and then their tummy should be on the board like this. And then you just want to make sure that their hands are far apart so that they're not having their fingers in the way while they're moving. And then when you do it, you could go ahead and have them use one hand at a time. You could go ahead and go backwards as well. And then when they go off of it, just make sure that the board doesn't rebound back. Some play activities that you could do with them, you could have like bean bags on the floor and make it like an obstacle course so that they could avoid the bean bags. You could really tailor it to your kiddo to make it fun for them. So the next piece of equipment I'm going to show you guys are these various types of bolsters. So there's no specific age that limits the child. You just have to make sure that they're safe while using it and it's also appropriate to their bodies. So for instance, we have this half one right here. You wouldn't want to use this for a baby because this could be working on pushing up into extension. And then we have another big one right here that I'm going to show you guys later for my intervention. And then we have a red bolster here with an attachment that you could hang for as a target so that the kiddo can hit it or move it out of the way. This works on bilateral tasks and fine motor and gross motor skills as well. So with what I'm gonna do with my kiddo, I'm gonna have a bolster right here, and then I'm gonna put a weighted toy right here so that he could come and grab it. So it's gonna be kind of like an obstacle course style, but the best thing about the bolsters is that you could use your imagination and be creative with it to do whatever you wanna do with your kiddo. And then with the weighted toy or blanket, you just want to make sure you keep it below the ribs. And depending on what you're using it for, this helps with some proprioceptive input, tactile input, how I'm using it with my kiddo. He's a little older, so I'm gonna have this work on motor planning and then also his gross motor skills as he's grasping it, and also muscle strengthening as he's holding it as well. So I have this obstacle course that I'm going to use as my intervention for Marco. So kind of seeing what he likes. He really likes trampolines. So I have one right here that he could start off with. Also just giving him that vestibular input. And we could also talk about safe behaviors just to make sure that he's safe while he's doing this. And then I have the weighted toy that he's going to carry. And then he's going to put onto the bolster right here, which is also just going to be working on motor planning and making sure that he follows that sequence. While he's doing this, first when he's jumping, I'm going to say the word dog, and that's his keyword to make sure that he goes and gets the dog, and then puts it on top of the bolster. Okay, Marco, I'm going to start jumping, and then I want you to say dog and surprise me. So say whenever you want to, okay?
Okay.
Dog.
Are you want to with you right now?
Okay. Now I want you to try, okay? Dog. Nice. Great job. I really liked how you were jumping and you kept jumping until I said the word dog, and you went really fast to make sure you put it on the bolster like how I did. So I really, really liked that. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so we could go over here again, and now I want to make it a little harder. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna have the dog right here, but I might say different words that are not dog. So if I say cat, should you get the dog?
No.
Start jumping. Okay. Purple. Oh, purple. I like how you caught yourself. Great job. Cat. Dog. Nice. Great job. What do you like from what you did here?
It's fun running.
Yeah, it was really fun running. And then I also really liked how you were listening and you made sure that I said dog. And once you got the dog, you put it on top. Good job.
Thank you.
So reflecting on my experience with the OTA collaboration, I would say my comfortability level would be like an 8 out of 10. Overall, I had a really great experience with them. Some challenges that I noted while working with them, we had different points in our journeys with occupational therapy, so it was kind of different to catch them up to a certain level of competence so that we were both kind of on the same pages. We didn't have enough
time for quality discussion of both prompts. I think they found it really helpful when I helped them with theirs, but I also noticed that I didn't really have time to discuss mine, which is okay because, I ended up figuring out what I wanted to do. But in terms of like quality discussion, it would be nice to have some more time for both, or maybe just one prompt. In terms of strengths, I really appreciated that they were open to feedback. Everyone contributed. We had really good discussion. In terms of developing their intervention plans, I saw that they thought outside of the box and they really had an affirmative and like positive attitude with working with each other. And it's really clear that they help each other a lot with curriculum, and it's easy for them to have teamwork with us. In terms of interpersonal strengths that helped me kind of facilitate the collaboration, I kind of use motivational interviewing. So, kind of using components like open ended questions, really affirming them when they thought of an idea, reflecting back to them kind of what they were saying and kind of summarizing it. And I thought that was really helpful for them to have like that open discussion. And it was really nice to see my level of competence and being able to tell them like underlying skills and possible interventions. It really made me feel confident in my capabilities. And I hope that we have this for upcoming cohorts and maybe in different core classes. It was a really great experience.